Have you noticed how thoughts feel deeper at night? Good evening, friends. I'm Mr. Narratory. If you're here, it means the day is done and the quiet has finally arrived. Tell me, what time is it where you are right now? And what's your favorite way to end the day? If these stories bring you peace, consider subscribing, liking, or sharing them with someone who needs a little calm. Now, let's begin. There is a boat that floats on a lake no map has ever named, where the surface holds the sky so perfectly that even the stars pause to watch themselves ripple. The boat is made of weathered wood, softened by decades of gentle water and time, its boards warm and smooth under the hand, its edges rounded like river stones. It rocks, but never sways. It drifts, but never wanders. You find it by accident, or maybe by grace, not because you were looking for it, but because something in you stopped needing to arrive. When you step aboard, there is no push, no paddle, no anchor to lift. The boat simply begins to move, as if it had been waiting for you not to go anywhere, but to begin the quiet work of letting go. I sit near the center, wrapped in a blanket the color of worn linen, one knee tucked close, the other leg stretched long along the deck. The wood beneath me is warm from the sun that set an hour ago, and the air around is cool in the gentlest way, like a breath that never finishes exhaling. The lake stretches out endlessly in all directions, but I don't feel lost. The shore is somewhere behind, though I never turn to look. Ahead there is only reflectionsky in water and sky, the moon a perfect white stone held between them. I dip one hand over the edge and trail my fingers along the surface. The water is cool but welcoming. It clings softly to my skin, leaves behind the faintest shimmer. The boat moves forward without sound, and the only noises are the ones you have to listen closely for. The creak of a board expanding, the soft sigh of fabric shifting over a knee, the hush of your own breath, finally learning how to slow down. There are no oars, there is no need. The boat knows the way forward is simply here. No time passes in the usual way. Minutes slip like mist. Hours fold inward. The moon remains above, ever steady, though her shape might change from time to time. Some nights she's a silver coin, others a cradle of light, but she is always watching, always kind. I lean back and rest my head against the side rail, and the wood accepts me like a friend remembering the weight of your shoulders. The sky above is thick with stars not crowded, but generous. Some blink gently, others burn low and constant. I feel no need to name the constellations. Out here, it's enough just to see them, to know they see you too. If you've stepped onto the boat with me, if you're here now, then I hope you can feel it, that loosening in your chest, that tiny shift where tension begins to dissolve, even if only a little. Let it happen. You don't need to steer. You don't need to know the next thing. This is a place where not knowing is sacred, where drifting is holy. Let your hands rest. Let your thoughts trail behind the boat like ribbons in water. There is nothing to hold on to here, and nothing to lose. Just this moment, just this gentle rocking, just the breath and the moon and the silence that loves you back. The boat has drifted farther now, though there's still no shore in sight, and no need for one. The lake remains still and wide, its glassy surface rippling just enough to remind you it's alive, just enough to remind you that you are too. I sit cross-legged now, my hands resting lightly on my knees, palms open to the night air. Around me, the lake has taken on the color of deep slate, blue soothing and soft and endless. Like the inside of an old winter coat, the sky above is velvet and silver, and I feel it pressing down in the kindest way, as though the night itself is reaching out to say, "It's okay. You don't have to carry all that right now." A few low clouds pass across the moon, their edges glowing just enough to keep her from disappearing entirely, and for a moment the shadows change shape on the boat's surface. I watch them without needing to understand them. That's one of the gifts this place offers, no need to explain. Out here, silence says enough. The air is cooler now, but still tender, and it smells of cedar and something sweet, maybe honeysuckle, maybe memory. There's a small woven basket near my feet, though I don't remember placing it there. Inside are slices of dried pear, a little round of bread, and a tiny clay cup of tea still warm. I take a sip, and the flavor is like summer herbs, with a whisper of citrus, the kind of taste that feels more like a lullaby than a drink. The warmth gathers in my chest, and I close my eyes for a moment, letting it fill every space that was too tight a few hours ago. You're allowed to do that too. You don't need permission to rest. Not here. Not with me. Not tonight. I open my eyes again and watch the stars return where the clouds have passed. They blink gently, unhurried, unbothered, as if they've always known what I'm still learning. That stillness isn't a pause from life, it's a part of it. The boat shifts slightly as I lean back, and the sound of the water brushing softly against its sides becomes a kind of rhythm, like breath, like heartbeat. I let my hands fall to the deck, palms down this time, grounding me to the wood and the water and the quiet that knows my name. A single lantern swings gently above, suspended from a curved piece of driftwood at the boat's edge. Its light is soft and golden, casting just enough glow to keep the dark from pressing in, but not so much as to interrupt the stars. I imagine you sitting across from me, your shoulders finally starting to drop, your jaw easing without you noticing, the thoughts that chased you all day now folding themselves into gentler shapes. Maybe you brought something with you, a thought, a worry, a memory that hasn't softened yet. It's okay. You don't need to drop it. Just let it rest beside you. Let it breathe in this quiet too. Let it be still without needing to be solved. The boat doesn't move because of effort. It moves because it's time. And you don't need to do anything more than be here in this moment, in this softness, as the lake holds us both. You've already done enough. Let that truth settle around you like night air. Let it stay. The lake stretches wide beneath us now, not changing in direction, but in depth and unseen deepening that I can feel in the rhythm of the boat's drift, the way it settles a little lower into the water as though the vessel itself has begun to trust the night. I haven't spoken aloud for some time, and the boat hasn't asked me to. There's something sacred in this hush, not silence as emptiness, but silence as welcome, the kind that doesn't fill the air, but softens it. Around us, the stars glow steadily, their reflections trailing across the water in long, blurred ribbons. Each time the boat moves, those ribbons stretch, ripple, and then reform, as if the sky itself is breathing with us. I shift slightly on the wooden deck and lie back now, the curve of the boat cradling my spine like an old friend's lap, solid and familiar. The wood beneath me carries warmth, not from the sun, but from memory. Feels like hands that have known how to hold weight gently. I look upward, and for a long time I let the sky fill my eyes. There's nothing else to do, and that is a gift. The clouds are gone, and the moon, high now, casts a silver path along the surface of the lake that seems to follow us not like a spotlight, but a companion. I imagine dipping my hand into it, watching silver trail from my fingertips like threads from a dream. I hear a soft sound, something like a whisper, but not made with voice. Perhaps it's the air passing through the lantern's glass. Or maybe it's the boat talking quietly to itself, remembering other nights it carried souls like mine. The water laps against the wood again and again, not with urgency, but with comfort. A sound that says, "You're safe here, you can stay." My breath slows in response, not by choice, but because the body knows how to soften when the world isn't asking it to harden. My jaw loosens, my hands uncurl, my eyes close without effort. I stay that way for a long while, just listening to the quiet rock, the occasional creak of board on board, the breath of a breeze that smells faintly of lavender and stone. There's a peace here that doesn't need permission, a peace that doesn't require me to earn it. And maybe that's what makes this place so special, not the stillness alone, but the fact that it asks nothing from me, nothing to solve, nothing to prove. I open my eyes again, just once, and the lake has deepened to a near black blue, not cold or shadowed, but velvety and soft, like sleep. The boat carries us forward, though it's never about arriving. It's about remaining. There's something beautiful in that, don't you think? The idea that being here, exactly as you are, is enough. You don't have to chase the next thing. You don't have to move with the current of the world. Just this rhythm. Just this moment. Just the gentle weight of rest pressing into the corners of your chest, telling you you've made it far enough for today. You can stop now. You can be held. Let that settle. Let the lake carry you as it carries me. There's a point on the lake where distance becomes meaningless, where the edges of everything blur into one another, and all that remains is the feeling of floating, of being held. I think we've reached it. The boat glides now, without even the faintest sound of resistance, as if it and the water are no longer two separate things. I've sat up again, only slightly, resting my back against the gentle curve of the stern, legs stretched out before me, hands placed loosely over my stomach. The sky above us has gone deep with stars more than I remember from earlier, as though they've multiplied just to keep us company. The moon hangs still, slightly west of center now, casting soft silver light that doesn't glare or shine, but rather lingers, like the kind of memory that makes you smile without knowing why. The lake's surface reflects it all, perfectly and imperfectly ripples, softening the stars into dream shapes. The moon's glow stretching long and thin before folding back into the boat's wake. It's quiet, and it's enough. It's always been enough. I reach for the little cup again, the one that appeared earlier, and to my surprise it's still warm, still fragrant. The scent now reminds me of chamomile and something else, something tender I can't quite name. I take a sip and close my eyes. The warmth spreads through me slowly, as if time itself were pouring in drop by drop, settling into every space that had grown tight with effort. I rest the cup down and let one hand trail into the water again. It's warmer now, too, or maybe my hand has simply learned to meet it better. My fingers stir the surface, and the tiniest points of light follow them, just a few little golden flecks like fireflies swimming in water, tracing my path. I smile without meaning to, the kind of smile that happens when nothing is asked of you. Are you still with me? Still drifting? If you are, just breathe. You don't need to hold on to anything right now. Let your thoughts float. Let your worries rest beside you. The boat will carry them for a while. The boat will carry you. I lean back again and watch the lantern overhead. It hasn't gone out. Its soft flame flickers against the breeze, casting round golden light in slow-moving halos that slip across my arms and legs like a hush you can feel. I close my eyes for a moment and imagine the lantern light touching your skin too, just gently reminding you that you are here, that you are safe, that you are enough, even now, even with everything you haven't said out loud. Sometimes we don't need answers. Sometimes we just need to be witnessed. And the lake, the sky, the boat, they're all very good at that. They don't judge. They don't ask. They simply reflect. And reflection, as I've come to understand, is its own kind of kindness. Let that wash over you. Let it soften the edges of your day. Let the slow rhythm of this drifting world be the one you move with for a little while longer. You're not falling behind. There's nowhere to arrive. Just here. Just this. Just us, floating together under a sky that never hurries. I don't know how long we've been floating, but that's the beauty of this place-time. Becomes as soft as the water that carries us. There are no clocks here, no ticking moments to keep track of. Only the rhythm of the boat, the hush of the lake, and the slow breath of the night itself. I sit now with my knees drawn in, chin resting lightly on my arms, eyes half closed. Not from tiredness exactly, but from stillness. Like the muscles behind my eyes have finally realized they don't need to scan, don't need to search. The moon, which once hung high and brilliant, now drifts just above the horizon, casting longer shadows and silver streaks that paint the boat's deck in 1,000 soft shades of gray. I watch the water lap gently against the sides, and it begins to sound like a voice I knew long ago, low, kind and patient. Maybe it's not the water I hear. Maybe it's memory. Maybe it's my own breath, finally speaking to me in a language I remember from childhood dreams. And if you're still here, floating with me, I want you to know you're doing beautifully. You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to hold yourself upright all the time. Let your weight sink a little into the boat. Let your shoulders lower. Let your chest soften. You've earned rest, more than you know. The stars are changing, again shifting places, or perhaps the boat is slowly turning. It's hard to tell. The sky and water blur so completely now that there's no longer a clear line between them. I run one hand across the deck, feeling every groove in the wood, and I realize how long it's been since I moved without needing a purpose. Here, even movement is restful. Even stillness has shape. A soft wind rises now, curling around my ankles, brushing the back of my neck. It carries the scent of jasmine, a little salt, and something warmer like sun-soaked linen or worn pages from a well-loved book. I close my eyes again and breathe it in fully, and maybe you can too. Maybe wherever you are, whatever your body is, resting on a couch, a bed, the floor. Just take a moment to notice that it's enough. You don't need to adjust. You don't need to improve. You are already safe. You are already allowed. Let that settle in your bones. Let the quiet between my words wrap around you like a soft blanket pulled up to the chin. Out here, the boat never asks where you came from, what you're carrying, or why you came aboard. It only knows that you're here, that you're floating, that you've allowed yourself to be held. I lean back again, arms stretched wide along the railing, face tilted toward the sky. I let go of every thought I didn't realize I was still clinging to, and in their place, I let the breeze move through me. Light, easy, unconcerned. I think the boat hums a little when it notices. A kind of quiet approval, a way of saying, yes, just like that. And maybe I say it back to you now, just like that. No effort, no fixing, just being. And that truly is enough. It's strange how full silence can feel, how something as simple as the gentle creak of a wooden beam or the soft splash of water against a hull can sound like a conversation once your mind has grown quiet enough to listen. That's where we are now. Past the need for words, past the need for plans. The lake is velvet beneath us, the boat moving like it's being carried not just by water, but by memory, or maybe breath. I sit cross-legged again, this time with a cushion tucked beneath me that wasn't there before, woven from something natural and soft, smelling faintly of cedar and sunlight. I run my fingers along its edges without needing to understand where it came from. This lake gives what it knows you need, often before you do. The sky has deepened into an indigo so rich it almost hums, and the stars have settled into their quiet glow. They no longer blink. They simply shine, steady and true. The moon is dipped low, painting the lake in a softer silver now, almost lavender, and I watch its path stretch alongside us, like a companion walking just a few paces away. I feel something in my chest, something gentle, a loosening. The kind of feeling you get when someone brushes hair back from your forehead, or when you hear your name said softly in a room you thought you were alone in. If your eyes are growing heavier, if your breath has deepened without you trying, you're exactly where you need to be. There's nothing to keep up with. The boat sets the pace, and tonight, that pace is rest. My hands are folded loosely now, palms against each other, thumbs touching. I feel my own pulse, slow and sure, not pushing, just present. And in that rhythm I begin to feel a kind of trust knot, just in the water, not just in the boat, but in myself. In the way I've allowed quiet to exist. In the way I've stopped reaching for meaning and started letting meaning find me instead. I reach for the lantern again, and its glow greets my fingers like a warm hand. It hasn't dimmed. If anything, it glows brighter now. not with flame, but with care. I imagine the light spilling over the side of the boat, casting soft warmth across the water, catching on the ripples and sending it outward as if to say, "You're not alone. Even the night holds you gently." I look down at the water again and notice tiny flecks of gold following in our wake. They're not reflections. They're real small glimmers, like stardust, resting on the surface. I lean over and touch them, and they scatter briefly, only to return gently clinging to my fingertips. I smile, not from surprise, but from recognition. The lake remembers things we've forgotten, things we let go of too soon, things we never gave ourselves permission to feel. But here, in this hush, they return as kindness, not to weigh us down, just to be seen, then softened, then released. If there's something you've been holding too tightly, an old thought, a worry, a question you've asked too many times, let it sit beside you now. You don't have to let go of it all at once, but you can let it breathe. You can let it rest. And maybe, just maybe, that's the first step toward letting it go altogether. The sky is a blanket now, thick and deep and endlessly soft, drawn all the way around us until the edges of the lake are no longer visible, not because they've disappeared, but because they've become unnecessary. We're not watching for land anymore. We're not waiting to arrive. The boat is still moving, yes, but not toward anything. It's simply continuing, like breath after an exhale, like quiet after a long, soft song. I sit again now, legs tucked beneath me, the blanket draped loosely over my shoulders. My palms are open in my lap, facing the sky, fingers gently curl. I am not holding anything. And in this moment, that is the most peaceful truth I know. Around us, the mist has grown thicker, not cold or blinding, but gentle like cotton stretched across a dream. It moves slowly over the water, wrapping the boat in a glow that isn't light and isn't shadow, just presence. The stars still shine, though softer now, dimmer perhaps, but not distant. The way a fire glows once the last log has burned low, not fading, just settling. I watch one of them blink out, not with sadness, but with calm, as if it knows we're resting now, and it no longer needs to watch. And still, the boat moves. My body feels heavier now, in the best way, each part of me grounded, not pinned, anchored, but not stuck. Rested. My thoughts, which once chased themselves like wind in tall grass, are quiet. Some have gone entirely, others remain, like dandelion seeds, floating but no longer pressing, just there, drifting beside me, part of the air. I take a slow breath in, hold it for a moment longer than usual, then let it out with a sound I didn't expect, a sigh that carries no weight, no grief, just peace. And maybe you feel it too. Maybe your own chest has softened, your jaw has slackened, your breath has slowed into a rhythm that matches the lake, the boat, the stars, the hush. There's no need to return from this moment just yet. You can linger here, you can stay, you can sleep. And when you do, know that you are not drifting alone. The boat is still beneath you. The water is still kind. And even in the places where the light fades, the quiet still loves you. I reach for the lantern one last time, not to lift it, not to protect it from the mist, but to rest my hand beside it. Its warmth hasn't faded. It glows now more like a heartbeat than a flame. I leave it untouched. The lake doesn't need more light. We are already luminous, just like this. The boat turns slightly, not to redirect, but to cradle land. The air presses closer, like someone tucking the covers around your shoulders after you've fallen asleep. I close my eyes. I don't need to speak anymore. You know the rest. You know this stillness now. And when you come back to it again, as you will, the boat will be here. The lake will be waiting, and you'll drift once more, not to escape, but to return to this breath, this hush, this moment. Welcome home. Thank you for drifting with me tonight. If this story brought you peace, let me know in the comments. I read each one. And if you'd like more quiet places like this, feel free to like and subscribe. I'll be here whenever you're ready to return. Rest well. You've earned it.